I bet you can wiggle too like her.
Probably.
Where's Will?
Esther here. We might have to start without him. I thought Will come in.
Yes, she here said he'd be a little late.
Everybody's parking in parking's at a premium tonight.
Yeah, should have ticketed them
I
off.
got the last parking space in front of the building.
I could have gotten in front, but I decided I just
How did your,
be in the garage.
Tomorrow is public work luncheon. You gonna make it to that?
I'm going to try to, yeah. I
And
need
it's
to.
back here.
No, it's in Taylor Street.
This is Taylor Street right here, isn't it?
I've got to grow the program,
Well,
It's like Taylor
develop
Street.
it, make it
No,
happen.
this is Solomon Street.
It's just.
No,
Back
back
here.
here. Yeah, back
Yeah,
here.
Taylor
You're
Street.
right.
It's gonna be there, cafeteria. And then Thursday, solid waste.
Yeah,
Mhm,
so
okay.
you going to that?
I'm gonna try to make both of them.
2 o'clock.
Because
Money,
I thought it was
there's
at
no
lunchtime.
fixed income right now, they don't have a.
Thursday. I might make it.
Okay, we need to get started, don't we?
Okay.
So you got the,
It's scary, it's scary.
is it 6 up? It's not quite. We want it to be.
It's 6.
Okay.
I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna figure it out.
Good evening. It's time for, it's 6 o'clock. I call to order the meeting of Tuesday, December 14th. We have the invocation by, Clay here.
I don't see Clay.
You'll read the invocation.
I don't have it, but I will.
Where'd Clay go?
Yeah.
Led by Commissioner Todd, and the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by our Boy Scout troop.
Okay, please stand. Father, we are here today to ask for your blessing and guidance in the performance of our duties as elected officials. We pray for strength, love, knowledge, and understanding. Help us to recognize and solve the problems that are presented. Make our solutions fair and just to the best interest of everyone. Help us to overcome our shortcomings and keep us united as a team to work for the betterment of the city and its people. We pray in your name. Amen.
If the Boy Scouts and the citizenship of the community would come forward and lead the pledge.
You know what, fellas? If you go over this way, you'll be on camera. We're on YouTube. So, fellas, come over this way to do it.
Ty,
Yeah.
you take the lead. Pledge.
The flag's over here.
Flag's right here.
We hit it back there.
Go ahead.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, fellas.
Thank you. I will be saying. These young men have, a week or 2 weeks ago, sat through a 6-hour citizenship and community class led by me. There were 28 young men at that time, and this past Saturday, they spent 5 hours at the Salvation Army sorting through all the canned food that had been donated to the Salvation Army from schools and churches and things. So the last requirement for this Eagle Required Merit Badge is to sit through a public community meeting, listen to the issues, and to pick one of those issues and take a pro or con, the pro and the con on that issue, and then come back with a what they feel would be the best decision as a citizen. So we're glad to have these kids here. They represent several troops from our community, including Troop 1, Troop 4, Troop 11, and Troop 14. So we're glad to have them here, and thank you, parents, for being committed. Did I forget a number? 2, I'm sorry, Troop 2, my own troop. So Troop 2. So I'm glad to have y'all here, and about 6:45 before if we don't finish up the meeting, they're going to be sneaking out, going to their regular meetings. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move into our presentation and delegations. First one is to recognize Cindy Fay of the Department of Administrative Services as November 2010 Employee of the Month. Chuck Olmstead, Accounting Manager, will address it.
Good evening. I'm here to present and accept for Cindy. She's tied up tonight, can't make it. She's been a real asset to the city, has proven herself over and over again by taking over the purchasing department and turning what is a manual system into a fairly efficient purchase order system. She has proven her worth again when she consolidated the cell phone project and saved the city $100,000 a year is our minimum calculation. She's innovated the bid process by linking us up with Bid Bridge, which saved us about 15% on each large purchase item.
Wow.
She helped us again when she consolidated the printer contracts, which was a fairly large project. Spent a lot of extra hours on that one, saving us thousands of dollars a month. And she stays late and is always looking for something else to do.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next we'd like to recognize Central Services for their participation in the annual Griffin Spaulding Chamber Christmas Parade and award of the Chamber's Cup for Best Overall Float.
Madam Chairman, I don't think we've received the actual cup yet, but the Chamber told me if it came in, they'd have it here, but I wanted to recognize Phil Francis and the Central Services Department. This is the first year that the city, much less Central Services, has participated in the Christmas Parade. They had a very memorable float, and just wanted to congratulate Director Francis. Would you stand, please, Director Francis, and his group for their recognition.
Thank you. Consider approval, recognize Leadership Development Institute graduates of 2010.
Good evening, Commissioners. It is our pleasure to present Class 2 of the City of Griffin's Leadership Development Institute. Real briefly, if you recall, this started during a goal-setting workshop with the department directors a little over a year ago. And Miles and I, with the help of some others, put together a 12-week program with the emphasis and hope that we could develop leadership skills from within our ranks and help them out with promotion and just better the professional development of our city employees. We had again, we had another 12-week session. 6 of the sessions were done at the UGA Research Garden. And we also kind of changed our format a little bit this year, and we did what we call 6 Leadership Power Hours. We met at the Welcome Center first thing in the morning every Thursday, and we had a brief lesson there. It's a fantastic group, and I want to tell you that you should be very encouraged and very hopeful at the future leadership of your employees. And they were a wonderful group. We studied a lot of different things, including financial management, basic leadership. We brought in a couple of guest instructors this year, which helped us out a lot. We talked a lot about goal setting, public speaking, networking, and some things we hope that will be valuable to their lives, to their leadership with the City of Griffin. And I believe we have at least one who wants to come up and say a little bit before we hand out. Don't you, Johnny?
Good evening.
To our mayor, our commissioners, Mrs. Smith, this was by far for me one of the best leadership classes that I've attended. I've attended numerous. I've attended some at our church, and by far, Miles and
Thomas.
Black guy. Chief Jones, they are some great facilitators. And I would just like to thank also Phil Francis, my director, for allowing me to attend. And I'm sure that the rest of my cohort feel the same. Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay, here we go. No, we got one coming. Come on, Chuck.
I originally thought this would be a review, because I've taken many in my time too. But I have new respect for Tom and Miles. They did a wonderful job facilitating this. Brought a lot of new points out and current material. It was a job well done. Of course.
Thank you, Chuck. At this time, we have their diploma and their golf shirt for them, so we're going to let Miles call their name out and hand it.
All right, we'll do this in alphabetical order. First, we have Eddie Bergen, Certification Manager with the Police Department. James Clinkscales, Fire Inspector, Fire Department. Eddie Ellis, Lieutenant, Fire Department. Jennifer Freeman, Administrative Secretary, Planning and Development. Dwayne Hancock, Sergeant, Police Department. Sabrina Marmer, Systems Operator, Electric Department. Wanda Morrow, Customer Service Rep, Customer Service. Chuck Olmsted, Accounting Manager in the Accounting Department. James Osteen, Code Enforcement Officer, Planning and Development. Do not see him tonight. Morris Pike, Lieutenant, Police Department. Butch Richardson, Live Analyst, Water Wastewater. Richard Charles, Assistant Superintendent, Water Wastewater. David Smith, Assistant Superintendent, Water Wastewater. Johnny Stevens, Office Administrator, Solid Waste. Mike Thompson, Firefighter, Fire. Karen Harris Braggs, Industry Program Manager, Planning and Development. And James Watts, Equipment Operator, Solid Waste. Did I leave Connie out? Connie, I'm sorry. Connie Hendricks, Administrative Secretary, Central Services. I didn't have my glasses on for the first 3 or 4, so I'm sorry I missed you. Before we let you guys go, run over here. Let's get a quick picture. And then we'll be through. Thank you. We really appreciate everybody.
They won't even know his name. Or Miles. Miles ain't getting in the picture. Okay, next, consider approval of a proclamation recognizing Fannie Delaney.
Madam Chair, I move we approve the proclamation as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and second. All in favor, let it be known by show of hands. Ryan will address this.
Ms. Delaney will come up. As she comes up, I wanted to take a chance to point out a couple of people in the audience. We have board member Mr. James P. Green back there, and we have former board chair Mr. Raymond Ray, and future county commission member, and my superintendent, Dr. Ferguson. This is a real honor for me being able to do this. One of my last statements I got to make to Ms. Delaney in our school board meeting was my regard for her, especially how I hold her up as a model professional. So this is a real treat for me to be able to read this to you tonight. A proclamation by the mayor of the city of Griffin, Fannie Delaney, where Fannie Delaney was born in DeRock, Georgia, and was educated in and graduated from the Upper County School System. And whereas the tradition of public service in her family began early when her grandfather served Upton County School System as school trustee from 1932 to 1939. And whereas Fannie Delaney attended Albany State College and graduated with a degree in education and subsequently received a Master of Arts degree in education from Atlanta University. And whereas Fannie Delaney began her career as a teacher at Moore Elementary School and continued teaching in the Griffin County School System for 35 years. And whereas Fannie Delaney offered herself up for public service in a second capacity when she qualified as a candidate for the Griffin successful school swap have or will make possible up to $93 million in new and renovated school facilities. And now therefore be it resolved that the city of Griffin does hereby express its deep appreciation to Fanny Delaney for her 45 years of service to the Griffin Spaulding County School System as teachers, Board of Education members, and Board of Education chair. And witness whereof I have had hereunto set my hand in office in the city of Griffin to the effect of the 14th day of December 2010. Signed, Cynthia B. Ward, chairperson, city of Griffin, commission, and Kenneth to the family.
Thank you, Mr. McElroy. And, no, not to forget to say thank you, Madam Mayor and members of the commission and the managers and all persons present. Just thank you so much for this. Is such a great honor. It has been my pleasure to have served in this county for this many years, and I hope that my service has not been completed this time. So thank you very much. This means a great deal to me, and of course this shall occupy a prominent place in my home. Thank you. Thank you. At this time, the chairperson opened the floor to comments from the audience. Comments should relate to a specific agenda item, not listed on the agenda for a public hearing, or to a concern within the jurisdiction of the city. Commission meetings serve the purpose of conducting city business and are not a forum for the unlimited expression of opinion. The chairperson reserves the right to limit comments to matters germane to city business and may refer speakers to the city manager or other staff for resolution. Is there anyone on my left that would like to come forward and address the board? Please come forward. Give us your name and address for the minutes.
First, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity, by the chairman of the Board of Commissioners, by Mr. Whalen, by Mr. Smith, the audience. The reason I came up here was on our Medicare Advantage. And like this past year, the federal government, we were getting on the Medicare Advantage, my Medicare Advantage went up by $60-something because this was a percent, this was given by the government, okay, they cut it out. And all of us on a fixed income, and this year, when I got this letter, our Medicare Advantage is going up from $433.38, that's for a spouse and his wife on Medicare, to $496.08. Now, that's an increase by $62.70. We're looking at today, on the news, you're watching it, 70% of your doctors are considering even coming out of the Medicare completely. Where is the city making money off this, or where do we actually stand? In other words, I had an increase where the federal government went up $60, and we had another increase this past June, and now we've got another increase now. My question is, where are we headed? Are we headed down the road of doom? And I'd like to get you to address that for me, please.
I don't believe you got his name. Your name and address, David. Your name and address.
Sir?
They need your name and address for the minutes.
Oh, Mr. Holberg.
Your name and your address.
Oh, David E. Weldon, 207 Sylvan Lane, Griffin, Georgia, 30224.
David, I'll address that partially because, not to be trite, but I feel your pain, I understand, because my Medicare supplement went up a great deal also. It's a product of the new healthcare system and what's happened there. It's way beyond our pay grade here, and so we're all feeling, all of us on Medicare are feeling the effects of that, and it's painful. I'm paying the difference too. Mine's a different plan. I'm not on the city plan, but it went up by a huge amount too. So we're all feeling that there's no answer for that in this room. So what can I say?
Well, that's all
And we're
I
not
have.
making any money on it, I'll tell you that.
That's all I have, and I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else on the left that would like to come forward and address the board? Is there anyone on the right that would like to come forward and address the board? Okay, thank you. We'll move on into the public hearing. Receive comment regarding request to rezone property located at 226 East College Street, consists of .46 plus or minus acres from low-density residential to neighborhood business district for the development of an 8,000 square foot professional medical building. Frederick Gardner will address.
Yes, good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. This is REZ 1004 application, request for rezoning by Dr. Brian Remington, to rezone property located at 226 East College Street, consisting of .46 plus or minus acres from LDRB, low-density residential, to neighborhood business district. The request is to demolish the existing structure on-site and incorporate into the property a medical building consisting of 8,000 square feet. Planning staff recommended approval of the request with conditions, and the Planning and Zoning Board recommended approval of the request with conditions. The conditions are, number one, all new buildings shall be built of brick, stone, stucco, or any combination thereof. The exterior appearance of the facilities shall be compatible with residential character of the surrounding neighborhood. Number two, all mechanical devices shall not be visible from the public view. They should be screened by intense vegetation. Number three, developer builder shall install a monument-type sign to be constructed of the same materials as the primary building and shall not exceed 6 feet in height and 32 square feet in area. Number four, perimeter of the development shall be landscaped with small to mid-sized hedges and plantings. Number five, site distance analysis shall be conducted to ascertain safe ingress and egress from the proposed development. Number six, dumpster enclosures shall be constructed of the same material of the primary structure and shall be located to the rear of the development. And number seven, planted buffer consisting of 2 staggered rows leading cypress trees 4 feet on center shall be installed along the western property boundaries to shield adjacent residential zone property. And the applicant is here to represent his application.
Okay. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone that would like to come forward and address this item? Please come forward. Would you give us your name and address for the minutes?
Hi, good evening. My name is Christy Todd, and I reside at 309 East College Street. Good evening. My husband and I just recently bought the house at 309 East College Street and have completely renovated this house. Our neighbors as well have bought the house next door, and both of these previously were rental properties and have now turned into permanent homes. And it's something that we've worked very hard at, and we want to make sure that that end of College Street that has started to revitalize keeps going that way instead of turning commercial. I've talked with the neighbors in the area, and we aren't really opposed to the development because it is done in the correct manner, and we appreciate that. However, there are 3 things that we would just like to bring up as conditions to please take into consideration. The first is the location of the dumpster. I need more clarification on that, as the plans that I saw provided by the city had the dumpster located, if you're looking at the building, on the left side of the building, sort of near the intersection of College and Terracedale. Is that still correct, or with what was just read, has it been moved to the back of the building?
I don't know, Frederick will have to answer that.
So it's going there. And where is, that's college? Awesome. Great, that was my first concern, and it's been handled, so thank you. Secondly, when I read in the packet, it mentioned the need to have the building have a residential feel to fit in with the surroundings. Our main concern is the size of the parking lot that is in the front of the building that's being proposed. We would be more, I guess, receptive to the idea if the parking lot could be more on the side and on the back of the building to sort of keep the residential style on the front and have that green space. I know it's Dr. Remington's property, but that area is sort of being used almost as a park. A lot of people like to go walk out there and throw frisbees, and that would still keep that same idea of the property, and that's one reason why we decided to purchase that house. And the last is just to reiterate the need for appropriate landscaping in the front and on the side to serve as a buffer to the surrounding residential homes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know it's on concern number one. I know Mr. Gardner spoke to you and gave you an answer on that. Were you satisfied with that answer?
I was very satisfied with that.
I'd like to say thank you for buying that house and renovating it. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to come forward and address this item? Thank you. Okay, receive comments regarding request for a special use permit under the Planned Residential Development Zoning District, PDR zoning district, to allow for redevelopment of a a partially completed mixed residential development for an 8,000 square foot professional medical building.
Yes, ma'am. This goes hand in hand with the request for the rezoning on Dr. Remington's property. This is the property that incorporates the multifamily and the townhome project that was not completed over the years. The doctor is seeking to put a special use as permitted under the PRD zoning district to allow for medical uses, which is a special use request under the PRD zoning district. Staff recommended approval of the request with the same 7 conditions as per the rezoning of the adjacent properties. If the board wants me to, I'll read those into the record, or
They're the same.
No, they're the
same as the ones on the rezoning. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Once again, this is a public hearing. If there's anyone in the audience that would like to come forward and address this item, this is the time to do it. Okay, thank you. The next one is to receive.
Got a hand up.
I'm sorry. Please come forward.
I'm Stephen Burnham, I live at 403 College, and I'm not in the development either. But it's my understanding that this change, if the request is being made, it has to be for a medical building only. It's no, if we decide to do something else, we can't do that. Is that correct? Medical building only is my question.
That was not a stipulation of the zoning, but if the board so need, we can add that as condition number 8, to allow for it to be a medical building only. The doctor is requesting a medical building, but however, the PRD does allow for some additional commercial uses, and that was not a condition of staff. We apologize. So if the board wants to, they can add that as condition number 8. It would only be a medical building facility only.
We met about a month ago, that was the stipulation I thought was to be.
No, it didn't come true.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Well, we'll have to make it peculiar to this property, in order to overcome the PRD. In order to overcome the PRD zoning, because PRD zoning does allow all these other features that was not included.
Well, this is a special exception, so we can limit the special exception to a medical building only.
Yes.
I think that's a reasonable.
That was what I thought we had this discussion. Thank you very much.
So you need to add another one Administrator, number 8.
Yes, we need to add condition number 8 that would make it specific to medical facility only as part of the special use. And just to give you a quick overview of what the special use allow in terms of commercial, laundromat, bank, government office, convenience store without gas station or diesel fuel, professional offices, and licensed daycare.
Okay. Thank you. Is there anyone that would like to come forward and address this item? Anyone else? Please come forward.
Good evening. My name is David Shanahan. I'm with the Trilogy Group. We are the developers.
You're going to speak up a little bit. I can't hear you.
My name is David Shanahan.
Okay.
Trilogy Group from Atlanta. We are the developers. We're assisting Dr. Remington. Just for the purposes of clarification, the limitation on the zoning, what we're proposing is a medical group. It's a single user building for a single medical group. We have done 5 previously for this particular group. So in terms of use, we're comfortable with the professional office. The other uses, frankly, are not something we'd be particularly interested here in any way.
Good.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to come forward and address this item? Okay. Receive comments regarding a request for a variance from Section 427 of the City of Griffin zoning ordinance to locate 2 former FEMA trailers next to the Silver Air Patrol to be utilized for offices, testing room, and storage.
Yes, ma'am. This is variance request 10VAR05, request for the location of 2 manufactured industrialized building, and per the City of Griffin's ordinance, they do not meet the requirements, and staff had recommended denial of the request. As we said at the workshop, we had met, the city manager, myself, and the airport manager went out and looked at the location that was first prescribed for the variance, and found that the location was not suitable in keeping with what we think is the character of the area. However, just adjacent to the existing structures, areas, land that's equally suitable for the development or for the placement of the 2 FEMA trailers, and if the board so deem it necessary to approve, those are the location that we would like for the 2 FEMA trailers to be located at, which is adjacent to the existing structure, which would keep them out of the view of the residential buildings across the street. As we stated before at the workshop, currently now the vegetation is falling off. Most of the trees that are there now are evergreens, will stay in place and will screen this from the public view as you come adjacent to the CAP building along East College. You will be able to see them, however, as you make that turn on to Airport Road from South Hill Street or 1941 for a brief minute, but as you move west, they'll fall out of view based on the vegetation that's out there now.
So if, when we get to it, we move for approval, if we call it the revised location, is that understandable then, what we're talking about?
Yes, sir. And the applicant had looked at placing it in the open area adjacent to the taxiway. We're asking that it be moved actually adjacent to or adjoining the existing structure,
Okay.
Which would take it mostly out of the public view when you, behind the existing structure, and take it out of the view as you're coming into the city along. From the air route, you won't be able to see it.
I just want to make sure we understand.
And we also put a limitation on it.
Yeah.
For the
That is correct. You all had a condition that you all wanted to keep it for the first 2 years, allow for it, and then will be reviewed from here on out.
Okay.
Okay, once again, this is a public hearing. If there's anyone in the audience that would like to come forward and address it, this would be the time to do it.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Lieutenant Bill Reynolds. I'm representing the Griffin Composite Squadron, United States Air Force Auxiliary Civil Air Patrol. Appreciate your attention to this item. We have this past year come upon a need for considerably more space than what we currently have, in as much as our cadet program has expanded significantly. This time last year, we had an average of about 15 cadets per meeting, which the current facilities easily handled. Currently, we have a little over 80 cadets. That doesn't count senior officers in that number. So we are absolutely busting at the seams, and we do not have sufficient room currently to do all of our testing that we do on a monthly basis, which involves all the cadets being in the building at one time. Also, we cannot conduct the classes and the training that the Air Force requires us to carry out with our cadets. So we're in desperate need, and we would really appreciate your opportunity. Again, we're looking for this variance for a period of 2 years, as we understand that there are plans in progress for another airport, and so we would just appreciate that variance for 2 years, then we could look at what the situation is at that time. So just to I realize that Civil Air Patrol is probably one of the best kept secrets in America, it seems like. Nobody knows what it is, but we're a program of the United States Air Force, and we have been tasked by the Air Force with 3 primary missions: emergency services, aerospace education, and cadet programs. Certainly we're concerned tonight with cadet programs. Just to give you a little background, Civil Air Patrol has been at that location, as I understand it, since 1961. In fact, at our recent fundraiser, I had a gentleman come up to me that said that he was a member of that squadron in 1963. And I have people come up to me on a regular basis when they see me in uniform and tell me that. So the Civil Air Patrol has some very deep roots in the city of Griffin. And so we are very grateful to the graciousness that the city has extended to us in providing us facilities, and we would certainly welcome the opportunity to have each of you come out and visit us, learn a little bit more about what we do. So we're very deeply ingrained in things with the Department of Defense, Homeland Security. Our aircraft spent over 2,000 hours in the Deepwater Horizon incident. We are tasked by the United States Air Force with 95% of all search and rescue missions, inland search and rescue missions with regard to downed aircraft, just in a number of other things in addition to our cadet program. But we're in desperate need of that space, and we appreciate very much your attention to that item. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Is there anyone else that would like to come forward and address this item on the agenda? Thank you. And our consent agenda. Consider approval of minutes of the regular scheduled meeting on November 23rd, 2010, the minutes of the workshop November 23rd, 2010, and minutes of the goals workshop November 23rd, 2010.
Madam Chair, as we discussed this morning, I move approval of the consent agenda and all the minutes as presented with the 2 very minor corrections that we noted.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, let it be known by show of hands.
I keep hitting it.
Thank you. Okay, on our regular agenda, consider approval of a request to rezone property located at 226 East College Street, consisting of .46 plus minus acres from low-density residential to neighborhood business district for the development of an 8,000 square feet professional medical facility.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the rezoning as presented with the 7 conditions listed. The 8th one for the next one.
Was that 8, 7, 8?
It was 7 for that. 7 for the first one.
Okay.
Right. I second that.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
And I will say that since we met Mr. Todd's 2 out of the 3 requests, I hope that we can work a little bit on the parking lot, at least make it look more residential in character. So if it can't be moved too much, maybe we can make it as little obtrusive as possible. If you do that.
I'd also. You got it?
Yeah, we need to add number 8 to the first, to that item as well.
Do we add number 8 to the first one, or to the second?
It's on the special.
Just on special exception?
Yeah. I think we're okay.
And that should cover the adjoining property that's being rezoned won't have, based on the current design, won't have the building on it.
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I also just wanted to plug in there that one of the things I did like about this was essentially that we are removing what is a blighted property as well, and as we know, those can affect house values too on that street, so given the chance that we've got an opportunity to remove something that's been sitting vacant for 13 years is a plus as well, but
It's been blighted happy here.
Okay.
So, but thank you for those comments. I'm glad, I liked hearing how specific that you had and constructed the way that you presented them. Thank you for that.
Okay. All in favor, let me know by show of hands. 7-0. Thank you. Consider approval of a request for a special use permit under the planned residential development zoning district to allow for the redevelopment of a partially completed mixed residential development for 8,000 square feet professional medical building.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the special use permit as presented with the 7 plus the 1, making 8 total conditions.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, let me know by show of hands. 7-0. Consider approval of a request for a variance from section 427 of the City of Griffin zoning ordinance to locate 2 former FEMA trailers next to the Civil Air Patrol to be utilized for offices, testing room, and storage.
I move that we approve.
May the motion stipulate that this is for 24 months and that the location will be as the revised location described adjacent to and behind the building.
Right, especially the location, yes.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, let it be known by show of hands. Thank you. 7-0. Consider approval of, on a first reading of an ordinance to amend the Code of Griffin, Georgia at Chapter 22, Building and Building Regulations, Article 4, Unfit Building and Structures, by adopting a new Article 6, Pre-owned manufactured homes, regulating the location thereof in said city.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, let it know by show of hands. Did I say Article 4 and 6? Okay. Consider the, that was 7-0?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Consider the submittal of a letter and application of the Commission of the Georgia Department of Community Affairs requesting an expansion of the Southeast Griffin Opportunity Zone to cover the Medical Overlay District area.
I move we approve this as the Southwest Opportunity Zone.
I second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, let it be known by show of hands. 7-0. Consider approval to purchase 7 Dodge Chrysler Police, Dodge Charger police vehicles from Chronic Dodge for $157,017 at state contract price and amend the budget accordingly.
Madam Chair, I move we approve the purchase as stated.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, let me know by show of hands. 7-0. Okay.
I wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and I'll see you after Christmas.
Thank you.
Consider for approval the acknowledgement of receiving the Georgia Humanities Council grant for the amount of $3,000 and by resolution to amend the fiscal year 2010-2011 budget accordingly.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, let it be known by show of hands.
So here, you're raising your hand.
Are you voting with us? 6-0. Consider approval of a consolidated bulk buy for the purchase of 30 PCs, 6 laptops, and miscellaneous peripheral for something for the Dell Georgia State contract in the amount of $37,624.
Madam Chair, I move we approve the buy as the amount specified.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, let it be known by show of hands. 6-0. Consider approval to purchase a 2011 Ford F-250 4x4 pickup from Allen Vigil Ford, the state contract supplier, in the amount of $26,555 for use in the solid waste division.
Madam Chair, I move we buy the F-250 at the purchase price specified.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, let it be known by show of hands. 6-0. Consider approval of resolution for the acquisition of stormwater easement on 7 parcels of real property for the 2nd Street to 3rd Street stormwater sewer rehabilitation project.
Madam Chair, I move we approve the resolution as presented.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, let it be known by show of hand. 6-0. Consider approval to award bid and construction contract to Quality Construction by McElroy Incorporated for the replacement of a storm drain between 2nd and 3rd Streets in the amount of $222,908.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, let it be known by show of hands. 6-0. Consider approval to purchase a 2011 Ford F-250 pickup from Allen Vigil Ford, the state contract supplier, in the amount of $33,911 for use in the stormwater department.
Madam Chair, I move we approve this purchase, and it is a 4x4 truck diesel.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, let it be known by show of hands. 6-0. Consider approval to purchase ITT Flight Company, from ITT Flight Company, a flight duplex control panel 208V phase unit for Shoal Creek Wastewater Treatment Plant Lift Station number 11 in the amount of $15,810.45.
Move we approve the purchase for the specified price.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, let it be known by show of hands. 6-0. Consider approval of a support agreement for relocation of facilities between the Georgia Department of Transportation and the City of Griffin, GDOT project NH-0004-04, in parentheses 047.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, let it be known by show of hands. 6-0. Award bid and enter into contract with First Century Energy Services, LLC, the lowest cost per KY, and most responsive bidder for the installation of a solar photovoltaic system at the Harry Simmons Water Treatment Plant.
Madam Chair, I move we approve this solar, I'm sorry, this solar project for the price approved. Presented, I mean.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, let it be known by show of hands. 6-0. Consider approval of an electric rate schedule from 2010 Electric Cities of Georgia Cost of Service and Rate Study with rate adjustments to be effective January 1st, 2011.
Madam Chair, I move we approve this new electric rate schedule as presented.
It's in my understanding that somebody's going to put this information out on maybe as to collect the garbage or something.
And we said it would be in the utility billing,
Okay.
the newsletter and the utility billing.
Great.
Can we get a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, let it be known by show of hands. Consider approval of lease agreement with Beck, Owen, and Murray for Suite 600 of One Griffin Center for the period of 5 years, commencing on January 1st, 2011, and expiring December 1st, 2016, in the amount of $3,900 per month.
Madam Chair, I move we approve the lease agreement as presented with the extensions.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, let it be known by show of hands. 6-0. Consider approval of a request from the Griffin Spaulding County Hospital Authority for expenditures of funds from the Hospital Authority Trust Fund for certain projects scheduled for 2011. The total amount scheduled to be dispersed is $410,000.
Madam Chair, I move we approve this.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
May I say something for the public? I don't know if everybody's heard yet, but the Hope Health Clinic voted unanimously to agree to the merger, as we did at the Board of Health. And the 3 clinics now, the dental clinic, the Board of Health Clinic, and Hope Health Clinic, will be merged into one new sort of super clinic down there. We have money from the Hospital Authority to remodel that building, this money to operate, And it's been, I think, a great day in Griffin for that, so.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All in favor, let it be known by show of hands. 6-0. Consider approval of a license agreement between the City of Griffin and State Bank and Trust Company in Macon, Georgia for use of property located at 410 East Poplar Street.
Madam Chair, I move we approve the new license.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, let it be known by show of hands. 6-0. Consider approval of an ordinance amending the Code of Griffin, Georgia, at Chapter 90, Traffic and Vehicle Article 4, Downtown Parking by repealing the existing chapter in its entirety and adopting a new Article 4, Parking, which eliminates 2-hour parking restrictions in downtown.
Madam Chair, I move we approve this.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion?
Just remind you that is first reading, and we'll have second reading of that ordinance in January.
Okay. All in favor, let me know by show of hands. 6-0. City managers, report.
Just a reminder that board appointments have been advertised, and I believe you've already been given a preliminary appointment list, so if you'll be thinking about those, the book is available for any persons who want to get their name in the book to volunteer to be on our numerous boards. Just a reminder to the audience that City Hall will be closed the 23rd and 24th and December the 31st for holidays. I may be out of town the week after Christmas, but I'll be available by phone and email if you need me. And have a great holiday.
Okay. You have anything? Commissioner Bayard?
Yes, once again, I would like to thank the city manager and all of the department heads for showing up for the town hall meeting that we had at Rising Star Baptist Church. And it was a very productive meeting, and I would like to thank all of you, personally thank all of you, and also wish everybody a happy holiday.
Commissioner Morrow?
I want to congratulate our chair lady there for a very successful year. You did a nice job. Thank you. And we have graduation from University of Georgia in Griffin on Thursday, so we're graduating another class. Anybody like to come by? Wish everybody a very, very Merry Christmas, and it's been a great year. Thank you.
Commissioner Hobart?
And one of those graduates is my wife. She's earned her special ed degree, so she's going to become a school teacher and give back to community, hopefully Spaulding County School System, where she'll end up. And I just want to say thank you, Cynthia. You have been an outstanding chairwoman this year. It was kind of questionable in regards to how the start of the year with the elections and everything, but we're so glad and proud of the way you conducted yourself this year. Thank you. And to city staff and city manager, and just thank you all for just a great year. We're proud of y'all, the citizens or being employees of the city of Griffin. We hear nothing but compliments and praise from the folks out there, the community out there. They're very proud of you and appreciate all that you do for us. Merry Christmas to everybody.
Thank you. Commissioner McLemore?
I'll just echo what Doug said. Congratulations on a great year. You made it. And Merry Christmas to everybody. And the board, if I don't see you again, happy holidays.
Thank you. Commissioner Evans?
Yes, I would just like to say, as we near the end of this year, 2010, I think we did an outstanding job with the city. Economy's bad right now, what have you, but hopefully in the future that we end up getting industries coming into town to create jobs. We're not going to give up on it. We're going to keep striving forward. I'd like to compliment each and every one of you, Jew, Kenny, staff. Y'all been doing an outstanding job. Just keep up the good work.
For myself, I would like to say thank you to our board for all of the hard work and for what I feel like has been a really successful year. I don't know why y'all doubt it.
We did.
I didn't doubt it. Why y'all doubted me? Never like it's such a big deal that it was such a good year. But I think we worked as a team. I think we worked as a team. I tried to delegate as much as I could to make sure that everybody did as much as I did, or more. I
You were
think
successful.
Yeah, I was. And once again, I would like to thank all of you for your cooperation. And like I said, I think we worked really well as a team. And I look forward to next year, and to wish everybody happy holidays.
Thank you.
I move we approve.
Make a motion, adjourn.
Second. Favor.
Good job. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Somebody second that
Everybody,
motion.
everybody should do that.
Hey, Frederick.
I do, I really mean that, didn't I?
I got to rush my little 4-year-old is in her first pageant, Christmas program out of First Assembly. It starts at 7 o'clock, and I know they're waiting on me.
That's really what you talk about. So I thank you.
I'm glad I
She don't want to discuss anything.